What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? I'm the Celtic Warrior, Seamus.
Wardlow here.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Oh my God. It's Thursday. You know what that means. I'm probably going to get sued because I said that.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways. Oh, well, you know, whatever.
I think she'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine. Well, welcome everybody. It's your favorite program on Thursday, or maybe it's not, but you know what? We're here, God damn it.
It may as well be.
Thanks to our friends at Fans First Sports Network. Yes, it's us, your Thursday night chaser and Wrestling on the Rocks. You know who I am, and if you don't, I'm Miss Amanda Jane. And of course, now you know who's my Thursday little cohort to the
left,
to the
right.
left, to the left. Yeah, because it's mirror image. Okay. Hey Digi, how's it going?
Oh,
I see a head peeking in.
yeah. I don't know why.
Pay no attention to the girl behind the curtain.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh my God, man.
Well, you know what, everybody?
This weather, though.
Yeah. Oof. Let's not talk about that. Let's. Some people, it's very depressing.
Yeah. We're in the low doubles right now, so.
Well, at least you're not negatives.
Hey,
Right.
Chaos.
Hello. Oh my goodness. How's it going? All right. So before we get into it, because boy, we have a lot to drink about. Let's do our favorite activity. Well, we have two favorite activities, but my favorite activity is what's in your glass. So is it the huge?
No.
Shut the front door. Is not the huge.
The front door. I like the back door.
Well, hey, we need a little sound. We need a soundboard, God damn it. I'm just saying.
Wow.
But you can donate to this wrestlingontherocks.com. Go buy a shirt, a sticker, or whatever.
I
And
mean,
then yeah.
who doesn't want a picture of Amanda to put on your laptop or your desk?
Yeah. And I noticed in the entrance it changed a little because I'm like, is that Sam Stackhouse that was there?
Yeah,
And I think it was. Shout out
yeah,
to Sam Stackhouse. Woo woo. Uh Friend of the show. The
yeah,
original drinking buddy.
it's
He was
true.
there when we weren't cool. So hey, he made it cool. So what is not the use today?
Dr. Pepper and triple sec.
That is definitely not the use. We'll put the actually we'll do the Orange Cassidy thumbs up, which I have an issue with him. And I'm drinking my use right now because the only other thing I have in my house, I'll explain in a moment. I have my normal can of Coke, but the only thing I have in my house right now is soju. And if any of you guys remember episode 1 when I was drinking soju that one night, whoo, yeah. So I told the boss man, can't be doing the soju during the show. so, yes, so I've saved you guys a ton with that. And right now, shall we do my second favorite part of the show?
Oh, your birthdays?
Birthdays. Yeah, there's not that many guys. So, but I do want to say that we did miss a couple of them. Just no, actually, no, we didn't.
Dexter
No.
Loomis, he's one.
Oh yeah, he was one. Another person that earlier this week had a birthday, and rest in peace, dude, Shad Gaspar. So
Yeah.
rest in peace, man.
Too soon, man.
And
Too soon.
Very too soon. And it just was. It was amazing. I don't know. It was amazing to me that probably pretty much almost every wrestler that's based in Los Angeles, when it happened and they went to go search for him, they all came out, every single one of them. So it shows you, how much he was beloved by a lot of people. So, but
Legit.
he's definitely a hero in my eyes. And if y'all don't think so, so sorry. But yeah, so I mean, the only other people really that had birthdays, I mean, if you're a fan of the bro, I know that some people are, some people aren't. Happy birthday, bro. Let's see who else here. Um, just normal people probably that nobody knows. And then of course my NX friends will know. Casey Cansaro had a birthday. Happy birthday. Shane McMahon had a birthday. Yeah. But now the birthdays this week, Batista.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a better actor than he was a wrestler when I look back at it. That's just
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Guardians, if it wasn't him, it wouldn't have worked. But then again, if he didn't wrestle, he probably wasn't going to be Drax. So,
Pretty
he could have
much.
been the Rock. I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. But hey, just saying. Happy birthday to R-Truth.
The
What's
man
up?
is eternal. Holy crap.
Yes.
By the way,
Mhm.
R-Truth fact, he beat at
Mhm.
his shirt with the Judgment Day is the
Mhm.
top seller right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm not
Very
surprised.
interesting fact. Well, no, I don't think I am either. But sometimes they have there's certain people in WWE who have some amazing shirts, and I'm just like, wow. Okay, some go very well, some don't. So yeah, um, Tyler Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Loving the up, down, down stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Carl Anderson, Machine Gun, happy birthday.
Yo, good brother.
Very good brother. We'll drink one for you, man. Um, the Mrs. Wife. I think that's the original hot flexible wife is Maurice.
Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I honestly think so. Yeah. I really do.
Fair.
I really do. And any work that Maurice's done on her, which actually is not really, I think it's just her boobs.
I wouldn't even think that.
Yeah, yeah.
She didn't
Miss
need to do
good.
anything. She
Miss
was
did
good
really
to go.
good.
He
Tully
swung for the
Blanchard.
fences on that one. Let's be
There we
real.
go. Yeah. Tully Blanchard's having a birthday, so happy birthday. And
Tully, the OG.
yeah, total OG. But there's one more because there aren't that many. But I don't know if you saw this the other night, but someone who is celebrating their birthday today actually is Mark Briscoe. So happy birthday, Mark. But they did a really nice little I can't
Tribute
believe
to
it's
his
been a
brother.
year since
Yeah.
since Jay's passing. So it's kind of surreal and
Yeah. It means a
so
lot.
yeah, definitely drinks here. I didn't see it with the volume, but I think it was Jay's daughters who were with him on stage. So I gotta go back and look at it. But it was really nice that they did that. I think that I will say this, I know a lot of people criticize Tony Khan, but when he's had wrestlers on his roster, well, now it's only 2, but it seems like there's a lot of he does some really nice things to like honor the memory. So
yeah,
whether you like them or not, people, it's kind of cool. Just saying. So happy birthday, people. I won't be doing the birthdays next week because I'm gonna be in Miami. So we'll give you guys a sneak little preview of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I might be able to be convinced to log in my hotel room and podcast. Maybe. We'll see.
I've got it covered one way or the other.
Oh, you got it covered. Okay. And then when I return, when do I return? I return on a Thursday. So what I may have happen is I may have some specials. We might do a special edition next week. Not next week, but the week after on the 1st, because I know everyone wants to see what I'm going to be filming. I'm filming a lot more this year than I did last year because I got some really great moments that I'm like, damn, I could make them more. So I have a bucket list of ones that I want to do. One of them is I want to talk to Alex Abrahantes about QVC because I fucking love QVC. And he'll probably be, why the hell no one's ever asked me about it? I'm kind of crazy. So I don't know. Maybe this gig here, I can be a host on QVC. Who knows? That'd be kind of fun.
I mean, I could see you being kind of like the ShamWow guy, but
yeah, but QVC makes a lot more money, like quick, from what I've heard. I don't know if all that's true, but maybe they just say it because whatever. But that I want, and I'm sure everyone's going to ask Nana to teach them how to do the dance, to the swerve dance. No, I'm going to say, you know what? I want to be one of these people to actually have a tutorial online because some people got no rhythm. They got to learn how to really do it. And it's very, very sad. I'm not picking on certain places in the States, AEW, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
pretty much. So that's one of them. I finally want to ask, so I can't forget to ask because I've always wanted to talk to him about it, and he knows I've always wanted to talk to him about it. But I've always wanted to talk to Johnny, insert your name. So I think it's probably Johnny Cruz. I don't know. We'll see what he decides to do. I've always wanted to ask him about his time on Survivor. I love watching Survivor. No one's ever like talked to him about it, right? And I'm like, why? I would have loved to, back when he was, doing Survivor, if I had a podcast or if I had something, right? I would have like totally asked him all about it because to me, there's some mysteries about it. Like, I was like, he's going to go far. I think he should have gone further than he did. Only because, I mean, he's just, fun loving guy. If you've ever like met him and stuff like that, it's awesome. But one of the things that always, and to this day, if you watch Survivor, everybody's bodies get totally emaciated. But his body didn't really, it had some change, but not like, oh my God. Because I was sitting there like, God, this man probably is eating like what, 10 meals a day, like Brian Cage does, and doing all sorts of, some stuff. But it's like, well, if you're only eating bugs out there, man, what's going on? What's the secret? Because I'm pretty sure people want to know the secret. And then also too, because of his parkour training, I want to know, did it really come in handy in those challenges? Because sometimes I thought that maybe it should have more so than it did. But, I mean, those are really like fascinating questions to me. I don't know. But I know I'll ask him about it. Maybe I'll get Colt Cabana to be social on this thing. Yep. I can see him. I'm not going to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks. Come on now. Unless you're buying or whatever. But
Yeah, that's a very Colt Cabana sort of thing to say.
That is a very Colt Cabana sort of thing. But yes, we'll see what I can get out of him if he's going to be nice to me.
Maybe.
We'll see. Because I mean, last time I saw him and actually got to talkie with him, I was like, but yeah, because of course, the one time I went to AEW last year that he was there, I was like, why didn't you freaking tell me? I would have worn your shirt. I would have been so excited. And then it's got the, I'm like, whatever, go away. So anyways, so there's all sorts of exciting things. I do have maybe something that might be kind of cool happening. I'm planning it, but I do get to have a photo with Jericho because, I was one of the first like 400 people. So one of my friends asked me if, because last year I cosplayed as Ricky Starks, where Ricky was on the boat. And so I was asked again, can you do it? And I'm like, well, he's on the boat. And he goes, no, I'm going to dress up like Big Bill. And I'm like, what? So, yes. So friends out there,
like
if you guys have those AEW tag team belts, like if you bought one for your child, it was the one that had the Young Bucks on it. Can I borrow it and give it back? Because if the two, I don't know if my friend has one of those, but I said we need to try to get him, but it might be too late. But it would be funny in my photo with Jericho because he's getting one too with his wife. But I said, you and I should go Big Bill and Ricky Starks, have him in the middle. And you know what? Since he lost the Battle of the Belts last week, that would be hilarious because, we'd be bragging like, huh? Yeah. And it would be great if I could find Will Hobbs and say, well, can you get in this photo too? I know Takesha's not here, but that'd be pretty awesome. And Sammy's not there either. So that would be pretty damn awesome. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. I think it's funny. Other people that I know were like, why would you dress as Ricky Starks? He's not there. I go, but it's funny that he lost. And I'm like, okay.
It's like you clearly missed the meme value.
Yeah. And then I'm like, if he did win the belt, I would still have my friend dress as Big Bill. And I'd still like dress like Ricky. And then, Bill can do whatever. And I would probably do the pose with this finger or this, whatever, but who knows? So again, fun times. Yeah. So it'll be a very interesting cruise. Get to see Abaddon walk around without her makeup on. And to be quite honest with you, I'm like, she's actually really gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I can't wait to, one person I fucking totally want to talk to, and just because she's like very interesting to me, Steph DeLander.
Yeah.
SDL. Yeah. Because I mean, hell, like we remember from when I first started, when I did my first episode 1, and we were watching NXT on the regular. I feel like sometimes I need to get back into that, but then part of me is like, I don't know. Um, was she Portia Parada or whatever?
Yes, something like that.
I was like, I always thought that, guys, come on, some of these women, I don't know. And I was like, it just didn't make sense to me. And then when
Well,
she got future endeavored, I think that that was the best thing that could ever happen to her. And partnering up with Cardona, however the heck that happened.
well, it's Cardona. I mean, when
Well,
you're the indie god.
Yeah, the indie god. That's true. That's true. But he did not become the indie god until she kind of partnered up with him. So there you go on that. And then I find it hilarious now that Nick Nemeth is around, but we'll talk to him about him in a moment. I just think it's hilarious how they're really touting up that match from WrestleMania.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. So do I want to say I want to be in the room where it happens? I don't know. But
Maybe.
But yeah, a lot of interesting things, going on out there. I heard that New Japan, the Battle in the Valley was actually really, really good. I wouldn't know because I refused to go. But I thought that, Ocean Spray was going to win. But it was very interesting because their main event was two people who no longer work for New Japan. And I told Willis, shout out to Willis. I know he's probably, his ears are burning and he's going to run in here. But he told me, well, Okada's never been beaten in San Jose. And I go, well, there's a first time for everything. That's why I really don't want to go because I don't want to see that. Right. And then he says, well, it's the main event. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, you can leave. And I'm like, yeah. But what if he loses? I said, if he loses, I'm going to come running in there and you will hear my loud ass where to kill him the whole time. So I said, but then I don't want to ruin it for other people because I know a lot of people in my area don't like me doing that. So whatever. But I'm going to say, because I'm like, I really don't want to pay for him when that one's kind of an expensive ticket. I don't know how much of that he's getting, but I will say that I blame him because I did not get to see Mox and Shingo Takagi, which I heard was absolutely incredible. As Willis said, when he saw Shingo Takagi come out in like jeans, like and a t-shirt, he's like, that man knew he was going into battle. I'm like, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. And I said, then you got to see Big Tits and the Soy Boy. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. But then when Riddle announced his partner, I was not really surprised. I was hoping it would be Jeff Cobb. I was hoping. And there it was, because they were the Chosen Bros back in PWG days. But it just shows you that the pop that Cobb got. I mean, yes, he's a home area boy. So it was just amazing. And I don't think we see him enough out here anymore. And I know he is living in Japan right now, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault the guy for, having a job.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I still haven't cut the shirt I got from him last time. It was the one where when he was on Instagram, I don't know if you ever saw the pictures, but he was biking around Japan with like a panda like hoodie or a panda hat. And it was hilarious because the bike was so tiny and he's so big. And then he has his hat. And it was a great thing because it says, they see me rolling, they hating. And it was like in Japanese. I was like, this is the best. Oh, yes. God love Jeff Cobb. Cheers to you, dude. So let's talk about something that's pretty near and dear to your heart.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
first of all, there's 3 little letters, yes. And there's also something to celebrate about that I was excited.
Yep. Well, let's start and give our props to the bartender over at Fans First Sports Network, because we're going in live with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
we have been calling it and calling it and calling it and calling it and telling people y'all done slept on Impact/TNM Wrestling for a long time now.
Mhm.
So they just had their Hard to Kill pay-per-view, which
Yes.
came out of nowhere so badass.
Yeah, I heard that that was
Mhm.
probably one of the biggest draws live that they've had. Like, it was it ever or in a very long time.
Yeah, it was not just a big draw. They had, people watching, because once it started and people saw the caliber, their numbers picked up, from what I understood. Because it was a stacked card. They are keeping the original TNA theme.
Oh.
By popular demand. That was just announced on X maybe a couple hours ago.
Okay.
So there's that. We saw so much good stuff. So much good stuff. So let's kind of, if you don't mind, humor me a little
Okay.
bit here. So we had Rick Swan versus Steve Macklin,
Mhm.
which, Macklin might have won, but it was a lot. There was little nuances like the homage to Too Cold Scorpio.
Mhm.
I mean, it'd been a while since they'd done this. And Matt and Ray Walt made some references to Desmond Wolfe,
Mhm.
known as Nigel McGuinness. So it was a nice little connect the dots. We had, and because I believe in Joe Hendry.
I do too.
So they introduced AJ Francis, and obviously, Hendry took the little bit of the pain there, but it was still fun. It was a
Mhm.
way for Francis to get over, as a heel, and Hendry to, he's fun, but no loss is really going to take him out of his niche.
Mhm.
Even if it's just you said some dumb shit and you got beat down.
Mhm.
And then we had Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, and Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. So that
Yes.
was old school, going way back and then some.
Mhm.
Uh, so obviously Edwards and Myers went over. It's not surprised.
Mhm.
Should be, but it's not. They're calling themselves the System, which is Edwards and Myers. That's their little faction gimmick. It was an amazing match, bell to bell. Like it was up and down the line. There was so much there in terms of just action, drama, storytelling. There was just a lot there that you don't see every day in modern professional wrestling.
Mhm.
And then we had Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve for the Digital Media Championship.
Mhm.
It got kind of hokey at some junctures, but that's Crazy Steve. I mean, any match he's involved in. I mean, you basically had what the hell and oh my God in the same ring at the same time.
Mhm.
Now, Crazy Steve won the title, which good on him. I mean, Dreamer should, be allowed to just stay in the back. He occasionally comes out to, kind of does the whole thing. The Dreamer looked great.
Oh,
Like,
good. Because sometimes
he,
Dreamer, like, gotta love Tommy Dreamer, but sometimes they put him in things and it's like, oh, Tommy, I don't know.
well, in
But
this case, he's been trying to make, proper weight for the match, and he did. And he
Mhm.
worked really hard for that. Let's see here. What do we have? This is the Tasha Steeles, Alicia Edwards, and Gazelle Shaw, and Jody Threat, Zaya Brookside, and Danny Luna. This was like a clusterfuck and a half. But it's a battle royal type thing. There's lots of new people involved. So there's a little bit of, mix of old school, new school stuff. Like Shaw just, did a spear off the back of Luna and took out Jody. Like, I'm not even describing it right. It's just, oh God, excuse me a second.
Hi, Mr. More Ms. Incisive Death. Thank you for the offer. But if you are interested in trying to spam us for money, I can tell you where you can go. You can go visit twdakes.com because Lord knows that Bishop could.
I mean,
oh, Lord. Anyways, oh, yeah, Bishop, real quick. Speaking of Bishop. So right before we came on here to, episode 1 again, Bishop had retweeted somebody's post, and it was a picture of Okada. I have to bring this up. It was hilarious. So it was a picture that Shining Wizards podcast had actually today. This is kind of embarrassing. Posted this a little bit ago. And it's a photo of Okada. And it says, with the news of Okada leaving NJPW, where do you think he will land? And then, of course, Bishop was like, on his feet just fine. So, since we're talking about TNA, how the hell does this idiot not know that, not Bishop, but how does this person who has got a podcast doesn't know about Okada?
Well, it's because much in the same way that people, we tell them they're sleeping on Impact. How does he not know? Because he wasn't paying attention.
That's true, but it's Okada though, if you are, and this is just me, maybe, I don't know, I'm getting on my soapbox. Someone can come kick it off of it. It's fine. But,
that would be a big drop kick. I'm just saying.
It can be a big drop. I don't care. Yeah. As long as you don't like super kick it. Cause that's so like 2017. Okay. I'm just saying that. Okay. Well, maybe 2018, but 2017, really. I mean, come on.
Fair enough.
But, I think that with Okada, and unless you're just doing WWE and AEW and nothing else exists in your element, okay. But you would assume that if you're going to do something, right? And I will say this, yes, I don't really watch the WWE. I've been doing NXT, but WWE has been kind of, I don't know. But especially now that Phil Brooks is there, like I have no interest. But I will say that you there's certain people, certain superstars that people should know, I would think, right? Like right now, if I were to say, okay, like in all of these bigger promotions, like there would be people like, okay, obviously you should know, some of the champions of things like AEW right now. Like you should know who has belts and who doesn't. WWE, same thing, TNA, no exception with that, New Japan, but New Japan, not only the belts can be funky because not everybody knows the Japanese names, but who people really should know with New Japan? There used to be a big three, I would say. Murder Grandpa, Okada, Naito. It's okay if you don't know anybody else. If you know what the Bullet Club is, yeah, that's probably what you'd want to know too. But those were always the three that people should know. Not Ocean Spray, not Zack Sabre Jr., hell, not even really, like people like Kushida, Hiromu, Tanahashi, President Tanahashi. Man, my hair is kind of like Tanahashi. I didn't realize that. Go Ace. Go Ace. You should know these people.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
we focus predominantly on anything not AEW and WWE, but that doesn't mean we don't know.
We don't know, right? Like Ring of Honor, let's go there, okay? Most people, because that's an afterthought, we all know why Ring of Honor was bought by Tony Khan. But honestly, like even then, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, well, you know, who's the champion, all that other stuff. So it's kind of, like, dude, you should at least know certain things, and just not to, not to criticize, but I'm just saying, you should know
All right.
things.
So
Shout
where
out
were
to you,
we?
Denise Salcedo. You don't know shit. Anyways, that's bitter. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Mm-hmm. Anywho, I'm
Anywho,
staying at that fight.
no, I'm just messing. Only because, I'm like, yeah, she tries too hard. But anyway,
Eh,
I'm not jealous, people. I'm just telling you no, because if I really asserted myself, I could probably be, I'm like Uncle Dave, move fucking over. There's a new bitch in town.
well, and that's soon.
Yeah, and I would give 6-star ratings just because they weren't in the Tokyo Dome.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So where I was at the almost the battle royal end match there. Giselle Shaw. She's the one who won that one. So PCO, the monster himself, took on Dirty Django, and he had let's see, Oleg and Alpha Bravo. So that's a thing. It was originally scheduled just to be a 1-on-1, then it ended up becoming a 1-on-3, and then Rhino showed up. And where is it at? There was just so much. Jake something, Rhino, and PCO won when it became a 6-man. Instead of 3-on-1. So PCO won because obviously Dirty Django cheated. It's what you do. Let's see. The Knockouts Tag Team Champion match. MK Ultra, mystery opponent, DK. Woohoo! Love these DK ladies. Oh my god. They're just a staple on so many levels. I've been praising the MK Ultra team like all get out. But it was back and forth. It was well done. What do you expect from 4 people who really know their way in the ring? And new DK has the belts, and I couldn't be happier for them. It's been a long time coming. They've been dropping little hints that there's more to come, and I'm here for it. And God, it was a lot. It was a lot of a match. And the commentator team, I'm almost curious and I could ask this, did the commentator team know it was Decay that was going to be their mystery opponent? Because they sold it really, really, really well. Like they were kept in the dark for a reason. Now, this one I know have you watched the Hard to Kill pay-per-view?
Not yet. Not yet. I had a very, very stressful, busy week. Barely watched anything. But when I just kind of heard some of what had gone on, I'm like, I gotta go back and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because this match in particular, Chris Sabin versus Kushida versus El Hijo del Vikingo for the X division. Now, I won't go into the specifics because I know this is your match. It was You know, Hannafin and Ray Walt, I have said Ray Walt in and of himself is probably one of the unsung commentators of the last couple of years.
Mhm.
And this was it. Like, so Scott D'Amore and AAA's Dorian Roldan announced a partnership between the two promotions. That's how they got Vikingo. And yes, we can just leave to that there is more to come that they're not talking about.
I know
Sure of it.
something maybe most people don't know.
Soon.
Well, when people like post something very interesting on their Instagrams,
We
but I know more than that. I'm just saying, but,
right.
you know,
So
and right now I'll just say this. Y'all out there, you know, y'all better fucking hold on to your fucking hats because guess what?
it's y'all have already see some stuff coming out of TNA that you never thought you'd see.
Yep.
We'll say it at
And you
that.
know what? And I'll tell you, you know what? I fucking like right now, if I could fucking find Scott D'Amore, I would fucking give him the fucking biggest like fucking hug. Like, but I'm just saying, when we see all of these great things that are going to be coming from AAA,
Because TNA now has a working relationship with NJPW and with AAA.
mm-hmm.
Forbidden door, my ass. TNA is the door.
Yeah. Tony Khan's probably shitting in his fucking pile of snow because
I hope so. But
this
you
is
gotta let me
something
go through. We'll get into that. I promise.
Okay.
There's more.
Okay. All right.
There's more.
Okay.
I'm cited. So we had Alex Hammerstone, which I know is a name you've mentioned before, versus Josh Alexander.
I hear that
Hard-hitting-
was phenomenal.
And, oh God, this was two big bulls in one big pen.
Lots of meat.
Now, Alexander won, but it was one of those. He always looks strong no matter what he does. It looked close. Like close. Let's see here. This is going to be fun.
I was going to say a lot of people sleep on Hammerstone, and I don't know why. And I mean, you know, the boss man and I
look.
Big fan. No, not necessarily because of his look. Like a lot of people just think, eh.
Well, he looks like Steiner.
I'm like, no. It's because you know you guys are used to him because of MLW, and half the time MLW is meh. So you know.
So I think it's just because he looks like Steiner, and that puts a weird taste in people's mouths.
Not to me, but
well, I learned math from TNA. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. A lot of people did too.
Yeah. So we had it was a tag team championship 4-way. We had ABC, that's Ace Austin and Chris Bay. We had the Rascals. We had the Grizzled Young Veterans and Mike Bailey and Laredo Kid as a team.
That's an interesting team.
Very much so. Now, while ABC picked up the victory, there was Bailey literally speedball for a reason. But you know, while these are four really badass teams, working with Laredo, you know, obviously he was teamed up with the bottom of the barrel. And that's not a knock at Laredo. These were four of the best in the business, really good teams, and that was the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. So they take no love of that. Like nothing but love and respect for all of them. Now, this one was fun. Was the Knockouts Championship, which is Trinity and Jordan Grace. Thank God Trinity quit. It was back to back to back to back to back. Like, it just Grace was she looked not dominant but prepared. Trinity looked capable but a little thrown off, as she should be. This is, you don't want your then champion to look weak, but you also want to put over, the other party of the matter. So, badass match, like really badass, and it was that good. Grace as the Knockouts title, good for her. She fucking deserves it. Sorry, correction. She earned it without question. She's been through a lot. So during that, we had, what is she going by now? Ash by Elegance, formerly Dana Brooke.
I didn't recognize her.
I didn't either until Ray Walton and Hannigan started going back at it. And I heard, that's formerly Dana Brooke. And I went, well, holy shit, it is. She's in it to win it. She's playing a different gimmick entirely. No, she's not copying Toni Storm, and Toni Storm is not copying her. They are two separate styled entities. Watch a promo package. Fucking hate the IWC when they get stupid.
People don't know. They just don't know.
Yeah, so she's signed. Good for her. She's got a lot to offer that company, and I look forward to seeing her, really get the chance to wrestle because she's very talented, and it's just bullshit. So we have a next match for the World Championship, which was Alex Shelley and Moose. Whew, Moose won. He got the title, but he lost. And why did he lose? Why did he lose so well? Because when the showstopper comes in, the wanted man, he isn't in fact signed to TNA. He is part of the working relationship with New Japan. So Nick Nemeth, which, his promo package is a little weird, but I'm like, I don't care how weird it is. He just looks badass. But formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, he's made a wave and a half. He took out Moose in the ring, which is good. That sets him up, to head in for a title thing, and it's gonna be good. Because we've seen what he does when he's given a shit script and a bad promo. Let's see what he does when he's got an open field. Because this is the same company that took Mr. Anderson and put him on a global scale, not just a Midwest scale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was, for those who don't understand, if you were going to start somebody watching a pay-per-view today, you were going to introduce them to wrestling they could watch, they could care about, that it was worthwhile. This is that pay-per-view. We're only in, January? And that's the pay-per-view to beat. And good fucking luck. There was lots of great matches, lots of solid competition. TNA has stepped it up in a way that it's going to be a lot. And there are more faces to come. There's going to be a lot of interesting people showing up and coming in and coming out, and new teams forming, new alliances. We're going to see more than we've seen out of the company in forever, since when they were TNA last time. Not that I didn't love Impact. It's just, this is getting the feel that they're prepared. They're loaded for bear, and they're going to make it worthwhile, because they're the company that wouldn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time they thought this company was out of business, they just would not die. And I'm glad for that because we just got like the best pay-per-view I've seen in about a year and a half now.
Hmm.
So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Keep an eye on New Japan. Keep an eye on AAA if you can. Because I know they can be a little hard to find unless you live close to the border. It's true. Sad to say. But it's definitely, whoo. I'm looking forward to it because if we're going to talk about a war between promotions, we just got a third contender. This has become a triple threat. And while you might say, well, they can't beat X, Y, Z, bullshit. Anybody can beat anybody under the right circumstances.
Yeah. I think what did I say? I think that the promotion that really hurts,
Mm-hmm.
good old AEW and Ring of Honor, hurts the Tony Khan product big time
Yeah,
because
this is
you've
why
got
we were going to
on
circle
there,
back to it.
yeah, you've got on there people who, well, one that didn't want to go obviously his way, which actually my other question, which I'll circle back. Actually, no, I'm going to do it now because if circling back to it would be weird. So is Ryan Nemeth coming along with Nick?
I
I'm just
would
curious.
say possibly it's a lighter road schedule. Is it as much money? If money is the factor, then maybe not. But
He's not even being used anyway, but how cool is it to be with your brother? You know what I'm saying?
it could be interesting, but I also think that let Nick simmer and TNA, let him get his feet rolling, and that would make somebody to bring into, have a legitimate brotherly feud.
Yeah.
Because
that would be good.
They used to get a lot. There was so much shit a couple of years ago on when it was Twitter. Those 2 was so funny.
Yeah, there's like right now on the AAA roster, if I'm not mistaken, there's at least what 1, 2. I'm just looking right here. There's at least what 5 or 6 people who are part of AEW.
I mean, yeah, possibly.
Not contracted, I don't think, but
no,
it's
probably
like,
by appearance.
maybe.
Well, we don't really know those ins and outs because there's certain parts that you just don't talk about. It's not polite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, but when you're going on like with the Kingo, excuse me, with him, he's bringing that belt, with him. So sometimes you think, oh, maybe he did. Maybe they have the partnership. But it was very nice to see that they didn't announce that shit on AEW.
Nope.
It was because that's very telling, And I think that when I'm looking at it, and this is just me, that I think that it's more of, for some reason, this was something that he could not do. This was like, because you know how he is with his toys. He wants it. He's Veruca Salt. He wants it and he wants it now. And I think that a lot of this was he couldn't get it, Now, are there people who from AAA who are signed that really I hope that they don't go? Yeah. There's one at least.
Well,
but I mean,
and here's my thought. Call it a little spitballing. One thing AAA lacks. I mean, granted, they have in their home country, they have the TV, they have their local stuff, but they wouldn't go further. They don't. Obviously, they're not willing to commit the best of their roster, so to speak, to AEW because they see these people putting in the time who are getting kept in catering. And that's just not how AAA rolls.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to see them partner with Impact, because
Mhm.
Impact has Fight. So they've also got, there's lots of cross promotion. And if you think about it, WrestleMania is 2 days. You have AEW is trying to do a 2-day. Why not have a TNA, AAA, have them do a 2-day where you have, your TNA on one, or just in some combination of doing that, like the big setup. You can even throw in New Japan to have more of a stateside wrestling appearance. You have matches that could go anywhere
Mhm.
based on athleticism, storytelling. You can, take parts of a storyline of here, you do this here, you do this here, we'll meet here. And you can have combinations of talent that you've never seen before. Not this supposed forbidden door, but
Mhm.
a legit door between 3 promotions that aren't necessarily as big as AEW or WWE. They come
Mhm.
together. They absolutely fucking are, and absolutely are competition.
Mhm.
I could see that in a world by myself. Is that fantasy
Yeah.
booking? Absolutely. Does it make sense? I think so.
Mhm. I think that it's interesting to say the least, but
Mm-hmm.
it makes me wonder because we have that stupid forbidden door thing. What's that going to look like next time? I don't
I
know.
think every time it looks less and less important.
It did this year in particular. It just wasn't, it was bad. Same with Wrestle Kingdom. That was bad. And so it just makes me think like, okay.
Why would that be? And then you think about it. Well, that makes sense. I mean, especially with the ace,
Mm-hmm.
at the head of the game. If you think about it, the ace with the more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put God, I can never think of you put them all 3 together, and you've got 3 really capable minds. You put their booking teams together because individually they all
Mm-hmm.
have great booking skills. There's no reason you couldn't have, an A+ top rated pay-per-view or wrestling program build out a year
Yeah.
with, especially with that roster, and because TNA has arguably, if not the best women's division of any company, period.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, where you have NJPW has a very stricter wrestling style, but they have very good technical. They're the originators, the innovators of strong style. You have AAA Lucha. I mean, that there's just so much that could be, and I feel like that would be the way to go. What do you think?
You know, um, one of the things I think that is kind of the allure
Mm-hmm.
of with TNA, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a woman, why would you not want to be over there? I
Yeah.
mean, sure, money's going to be great with, Tony Khan, but at the end of the day, it's like, is that really what it's about? Like after a while, like people like Allie, it's like, I'm sure she wants to wrestle. Same as Penelope Ford, you know? And they're people that we don't, you don't see. And it's like, oh my God, there's such a waste, right? I think that right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting that Tony Khan is putting a lot of stock into Myra May. I was not impressed. Not impressed. So when Diana came and made her debut, oh boy, I think that was for Mariah May. Oh, that was awful. It's like, girl,
And I
yeah.
wonder just how long that's going to last, because now that TNA is, picked up and really kicked some success, how long before Deanna goes back?
Oh, you never
Because
know.
she's been there off and on, for a while.
Mm-hmm. And she was doing
So
AAA. I don't know if she still
mhm,
does, but she was.
she might. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah.
Wonder
Taya
what
was
happened to-
doing AAA because wasn't she
Uh,
the Reina champion for
yeah,
a while? Yeah.
the
So that'd be very
Guadalupe.
interesting to see things like that. Like,
Well,
hmm.
it really is. Like the possibilities are there to be everything and anything, and
Mhm.
I am here for it. If Hard
Yeah.
to Kill is just the start, which I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
then we keep saying it. I'll stand by it. TNA is the product to watch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah. I wish, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I can get my passport back in time because I would love to go to Tijuana in February. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And AAA's running.
Yep.
Certain people are wrestling in that show.
Yep.
It's been no secret for quite a while. Um, and they, I guess, just recently announced that show. But I feel like, yeah, maybe, just maybe, you know, be very interesting to see. One person who I really hope that he gets to be on some, TNA a little bit because I love him, Sam Adonis.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's always funny to me that people don't realize who his brother is. I always have to laugh about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm.
And if you don't know who his brother is, people, go look it up. Because, yeah.
This is definitely a diaper conversation.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, it sure is. It sure is. And if you feel like, we're leaving you guys out of the conversation, then you might want to watch some alternative things as far as
Yeah.
wrestling goes.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm just,
It's we keep saying,
mhm.
and say what you will. This is a good time to be a fan.
It is. It is. And it's also a good time for a lot of things.
Okay.
And there's reasons I think to say it's about fucking time. There's reasons to say that, you know what? We're lucky that we are in an age where there's so much choice that
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's kind of awesome. You can spread the wealth around, you know? And I really feel that um there are those alternatives to what's out there.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
all we need to do now is just enjoy it, because even your hometown promotions, if you're curious, if you're a fan, they probably have a YouTube channel. They probably have a Facebook. They probably have an X. They probably have some form of social media, some way to watch a show when a show happens. Go see them. That's your stars tomorrow. Jamie Senegal, is up here in northeastern PA. That's where she
Mhm.
did a lot of her start. And now she's all over the place.
Mhm.
So just saying.
Mhm. Mhm. Apparently, word on the street, and if I'm spoiling this for you or anybody, then I'm sorry. Yeah, so tonight's TNA, I guess it was Alexander versus Ocean Spray 2.
Would
I
make
think
sense.
so. I think so.
I'm doing the show, so I'd have to, we're the recap of the last
Yeah, we're the
episode.
recap. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm actually interested in watching it because I'd love to see Ocean Spray lose.
Because Josh Alexander,
But Josh Alexander is amazing, but it's more amazing that Ocean Spray loses.
you're not
Don't need a
wrong.
moment to zen. I just have to have this big shit-eating grin because
Well, and I'm gonna say this is, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Osprey is in the right place to adjust his attitude on a lot of things, and TNA is the place you should do it, because
but that's not where he ended up going.
it might not be, but I will guarantee you down the line He's gonna deal with that locker room, and everything I've ever been told, the TNA locker room is the best, most positive, supportive locker room in the business.
Yeah,
And
but I will
I
say
don't doubt
this.
that. Mm-hmm.
I will say this. From what I know about Ocean Spray, and people will say, "Well, you know this." People talk,
Mm-hmm.
and he is not the best person in the locker room.
No.
He can grow up, and people say, "Oh, he's grown up now." He's a kid, and well, first of all, that's not his actual kid. Okay, let's go there first of all. So second, it's like, you know, it's he's notorious for that. And not in a way like Phil Brooks, but it's a different kind of locker room kind of drama. He makes people feel very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's not positive. So it's about for him, it's about money. Okay. And if you guys say, oh no, if it wasn't, then when he made that bullshit thing saying that, oh my God, you know, he watched TNA as a kid, bruv, and blah 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 blah. You wouldn't have gone to the dark side of money, but that's just how he is. So
Well, and
yeah, but
uh,
you know what? Good for him. Good for him. Because you know what's going to happen? One of two things is going to happen. He's going to be Tony's little toy for just a little bit. And then guess what's going to happen? He's going to trickle down that roster. And then once he trickles down that roster, right? He's going to be so pissed that it's like this was a waste of his time. But he's
well,
getting paid, so you should shut the fuck up because there's other people who, yeah, they've synced down and they're not getting shit, dude. So fucking just be quiet. So
it's just a
anyway,
matter
that
of
was my
time.
moment of zen. I haven't had one in a while, but anyway.
It's true. At the end of the day, I mean, and let's refill our glasses, by the way. Let's refill our glasses. You want to thank our bartender?
Yes. So Fans First Sport Network is our bartender this evening and every evening. They keep the bar open and so we can drink. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. You know what else keeps the bar open? Did you?
What's that? Merch.
Going to wrestlingontherocks.com and go in our awesome shop. There's lots of cool things. I think March was trying to put new things in there.
Yep. I've made a couple of requests myself.
I wanted to have the actual like wrestling buddies. I know Eden Page told me that he was getting made in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying. So, but yeah, no. Yes. So buy something, or if you go and you put in Venmo, I believe, and I think Cash App, if you go to @RefMarsh,
Yeah.
or hell, you can even go to @Ms. Mana Jane, and I will put it toward the cause.
No,
Because
and don't misunderstand. We make almost nothing off the merch because we are about you guys. So don't think that when we plug merch, we're trying to press. We're just saying,
nope.
spread the word. Pull
Yeah.
up a bar stool and have a drink with us.
Mhm. Yeah, because at an AEW show, one of the friends of the show, Mr. Willis,
Yep.
Mr. Willis wore our logo shirt in purple, and that was he didn't even tell me he was doing it, and it was a really nice surprise. And if you want an incognito type of wrestling shirt, I recommend our episode 1 shirt that looks like the Star Wars like font, because everyone always says, oh my god, I love that one. Like, that's not what you think. Did you
John
read the
Cena
shirt?
likes our pointless aggression.
Exactly. I'm a little bummed because I was not able to get things before my cruise. So I will be rocking my episode 1 shirt. I thought I had a pointless aggression one somewhere. I have to look. I should, but I gotta look. So
It's next to your banana costume.
no, I don't have a banana costume. I have a pineapple,
Pineapple.
but it's not next to it. Because next to the pineapple costume is a bee costume. And next to that is a turkey. Yes, I wore these at work.
Why are you not dressing up as a red panda?
The outfit, the onesies I've seen aren't the greatest, but one day I will. But speaking of that, because I know where you're going with the red panda, there's a certain wrestler, I'm gonna not name names to protect the rude and the innocent, who saw my hair and was like,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, you remind me of something. And I said, what? And they go, it's a cartoon. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know where you're going with this, right? Then all of a sudden, oh yeah. Have you seen that one Pixar movie? And it's the little, like, the emotions. And I go, I think so. What are you talking about? Oh my God, you look like that one. Next thing I know, I'm sent a message, a text message with a photo. Okay. The photo, if you guys know, and also for those listening instead of watching, but I'm not going to show you the photo. It was that little, it was from Inside Out, that Pixar movie, and it was sadness. Yeah, because I have and the justification was, well, you have your big glasses and have that blue hair now, and then your face is really round. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. How rude. How rude. I'm not saying who it is, but how rude. Rude. I'll let you guess
Oh,
who it is,
Lord.
but no, I'm not going to say who it was.
Yeah,
It's
let's not. We're gonna be classy about that
we're
one.
going to be classy about it. I'm just going to say it wasn't very nice. Let's say that. It was rude, but it was not very nice. They think they're funny. I don't think they're funny.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they're funny.
You think it's funny? One of my people at work was like, they're right, I go,
You want
walk
a
away.
job, sir?
Yeah, like, no, walk away. Just
You know,
yes. Anyways.
and that's sort of something interesting that you have individuals with certain looks, because I alluded to the uh, Dana Brooke, being compared to Tony Storm, and they couldn't be two different characters, their gimmicks, as it were, from each other, and both have acknowledged, no, we're doing two separate things. And just because a woman puts on a fancy dress and has a little bit of an accent doesn't mean they're the same gimmick. It's just not there.
Yeah, and they both wear red lipstick. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
yeah, and
like,
that,
yeah.
like, why? Why would you do that? These people put in a lot of hard work to, become the gimmick.
There's some gimmicks though that people don't really put a lot of thought or whatnot into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just,
And then there are some people who are spiteful, but for the most part, like, people give Nia Jax a lot of shit, but she is portraying a specific style of character.
exactly.
And at the end of the day, from everything I've ever been told and observed, she's a really nice lady. Now, her on-screen character is a vindictive, smarmy bitch. And that's cool. It's not Mean Girls, bitch. It's vindictive, smarmy.
Well, it's always funny to me that when people, are when they're like, oh, and they talk about, oh, this she's just a, vindictive bitch, or oh my God, she's, whatever. And it's like, well, what are you like? Because, we should not throw stones at glass houses.
That's
Because I've
just
seen some of
true.
you wrestling fans, okay? I'm gonna see a
Well,
lot of you on a boat. And
we're
just
gonna
remember,
go way back. We're,
gang, deodorant is your friend. And that's a public service announcement from
bring
the
a bar of
Thursday night.
soap, baby.
Bar soap. I no shame. Like I didn't. They've been sold out of them, so I haven't been able to see them. But I would buy those shower wipes that they have at like Target. I would hand them to people with $1 deodorant. And if someone comes up to you and gives you that, I would be so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
Eh,
But I'm like, I pay a lot of money to go to a show, and I did not pay to be bombarded by stink. That's all.
this is true. The ocean already smells like enough. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And wash your
Uh,
wrestling shirts, guys. It's not going to fade. If it fades, just buy another one. It's okay. You know,
Yep.
I like it when they fade because it's vintage.
Such a fucking hipster.
Mhm.
So here's a fun thing. 'Cause I know you talked. I don't really watch NXT. Maybe I'll get back into it. All right.
Mhm.
We flash back the when Mickey James came into WWE as the stalker.
Yes.
Right. That was kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And that was one of those classic storylines, right?
Mhm.
Well, they kind of have one going on now where the champion has this one chick who's being an obsessive fan, but instead of just, being, well, I'm going to, do my hair kind of like XYZ, she's doing shit like stealing her wrestling bag, stealing some of her ring gear,
Mhm.
got into a tag match with the champ, was doing everything she could to like emulate and copy her obsession,
Mhm.
which I think, well done. It's still a little unhinged, it's still crazy, but it's subtle.
Are
It's
you
those
talking
little
Billy
details.
Starks?
No, no,
No.
no,
And Athena?
no, no. I'm
Because there's
talking
two.
NXT.
Because there's two that are like this. Because if you look, AEW has their one with Tony Storm and Myra May. It's a little
Yeah,
different.
but
But who is it at NXT? Because I haven't really watched NXT in a while. I only
uh,
watch, a couple people because I like them. Like I try to make it a point to watch Wesley. I love Carmelo Hayes, Eddie Thorpe. That's my dude. Shout out to Eddie. I hate
let
that
me
name. It's
see.
awful.
It's
Doesn't no, it's pretty
sorry, my memory can be sometimes. Let me see. It's I have to scroll down. So I take notes before the show, just in case. Bear with me.
Oh no, it's okay. I have some filler
Er,
here. Oh,
But
found it?
yes.
Okay.
I did. I had it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Go ahead. Do your filler. I'll find it.
Oh yeah. Well, our friends, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for our bartender,
Mm-hmm.
fans for wrestling. Wait, fans. See, messed it up. Fans for Sports Network.
Oh, well, I found it.
Okay, there we go. See, I killed the filler was awful. Awful.
I'm saving you from the filler.
Thank you.
It's
Everyone take a drink. It's okay. We're on episode 1. This is this kind of stuff. Why we can't get to episode 2. You just can't
Lyra
do it.
Valkyria and Tatum Paxley,
Mm.
which you wouldn't think it works, but it's damn magic. Like their first match as a team, you watch. There's a sense of awkwardness from Lyra,
Mhm.
but it's played because she's not expecting or used to, because that's not how Tatum acted prior to return.
Got it.
So, like, is it the same thing? No, because every gimmick's been done to some degree. Every plot line by
Mhm.
this point has been done to some degree. I mean, when you realize that, Abraham Lincoln was a professional wrestler, it kind of, tells you how long it's been. So
Mhm.
people should be less bent up about silly things and be more happy that you have these talented artists out there putting on a show that really, is meant to get you involved, meant to make
Yeah.
you care. That's
Well,
just a theory.
well, I will tell you, it's interesting because fans, it's like, do you even really realize what like is in Hollywood now? Movies? I mean, they're resorting to go back to things like that were already like Mean Girls. Okay, do we
Mm,
need a Mean Girl like another Mean Girls?
no.
No, not really. Mean Girls amazing. I don't care if it's a musical or not. Right? It's not necessary. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to be next. Are they going to do? I don't know. Gosh, are they going to do? Redo all of the Marvel movies? You know, in
There's
but in
uh,
order this
yeah.
time with a different cast. It's something like that. Like that's a multiverse right there. Ooh, right. But yeah, no, that's where I'm kind of with this whole thing with fans is like you shouldn't crap on this because if you're crapping on this and you're like, oh my god, I so loved the remake of I don't know, like I don't know, or I'm trying to think of one that was a remake that was horrible. But like if you're reviving like Nightmare, on Elm Street, okay, that's a good example. Like, oh yeah, oh my
Yeah.
god, I love that. But then you're like, oh, they're copying a wrestling story. It's dumb. It's like you sound like an idiot. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know, but it's kind of a cool concept. But again, you got to also think too. Almost everything has probably been done, right?
Yeah. And
Without it
it's
being very controversial. So I mean,
it's like
I don't
what
know. I
we
don't think
do.
there's anything that could be completely original, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of anything. The only thing I could probably think that would be original right now, nothing. However, I do think that it would be very interesting, and I'm just going to switch it to
Mm,
AW real quick. Is that how they're trying to have the acclaimed and
mm,
Bullet Club Gold merged together? I think it would be kind of a fantastic idea, right?
mm,
And just because, they're getting very, like, obviously they're getting very faction heavy. Again, what is it? Undisputed Kingdom. That's a piece of shit.
mm.
Um, Obviously, Bullet Club Gold, Los, uh, whatever, what is it? Their Faccione Inglobernable or
Yes.
whatever, right? Yeah. So there's all the sorts of things. The Don Callis family, you know.
It's too much.
Well, I don't want to say the elite because we don't really know what's going on with that. But it's very interesting to me. Mogul Embassy, So if we're going that way and that route, um, why not, right? I think there'd be a lot of great shit that would happen with it, you know.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think that there's a lot of things right now that are happening that, I'm like kind of surprised by. And, they're still fucking doing Adam Page and Swerve. But I love the fact that the way Swerve is and his attitude has been it's been great. And I think that with
Yeah.
him, um, you know, that's what it is. But I don't know. It's just, is what it is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll see. So, I don't know what's going to happen next week unless Digi has a surprise for y'all. But I
Mm.
will be ready to get on a boat, like I said. So, if you guys have any like requests of little segments you might want me to try to do, you know where to reach me at Ms. Amanda Jane on X and Instagram. Digi, where can we find you?
Only Instagram at DigiDamon, WOTR. You can find me through all the other wonderful people at Wrestling on the Rocks.
Yay. me. And then, of course, mucho thanks to two people, one producer lady and producer guy.
Yep.
Thank you, because we need help sometimes. And then also, cannot forget the bartender for our
And
Thursday
First
night
Sports
chaser.
Network. Yeah.
Yep, Fans First Sports Network. We love y'all. And then, of course, one thing we need to do before we go, and I'll let you lead the way, Digi, because this is your thing.
Oh, so I want to put a toast out to TNA. My God, hit the ground running, don't stop. DBU, I'm here for it. And DK.
Yay. Me, I'll drink to that. I'd like to give a toast. Decay as well. Awesome ladies. Love y'all. That's number one. Number two, shout out to AAA and TNA for this amazing, partnership here. Cannot wait to see what happens because there's a lot of interesting elements. And then finally, too, I'm going to give all of y'all cheers because you know what? Thank you for putting up with us. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode 1 of WrestlingOnTheRocks.com, the Thursday Night Chaser. That's Digi. I'm Amanda. That's last call.
Last call.
Cheers. Oops.
Producer Lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support and buy us a drink by putting the I in subscribe and reviewing our podcast. And cheers to Fans First Sports Network for keeping the dive bar lights on.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.